Good morning, everyone. Today I'll be presenting Case Study 7, Intercultural Communication in Education. This case examines whether the conclusion that Asian students are not interested in learning is accurate or whether it reflects cultural bias in interpreting classroom behavior. This case takes place in an international classroom consisting of students from Thailand, China, India, the United States, and Germany. The instructor observed that students from the United States and Germany actively participated in discussions and frequently asked questions. In contrast, students from Thailand, China, and India tended to remain silent or responded only when invited to speak. Based on these observations, the instructor concluded that Asian students were not interested in learning. However, silence should not automatically be interpreted as a lack of interest. In many Asian cultures, silence may represent respect for the teacher, careful reflection, or a desire to avoid causing embarrassment to others. Therefore, this conclusion may reflect cultural bias, ethnocentrism, and fundamental attribution error, which occur when people judge others using their own cultural standards and overlook cultural influences on behavior. Hofstede's cultural dimensions help explain these differences. Countries such as the United States and Germany score relatively high on individualism, encouraging students to express their opinions and challenge ideas openly. In contrast, many Asian cultures place greater emphasis on harmony, respect, and collective relationships, leading students to demonstrate engagement through attentive listening and thoughtful reflection rather than frequent verbal participation. One of the most influential factors is power distance. In countries with high power distance, such as Thailand, China, and India, students are more likely to respect authority figures, avoid public disagreement, and wait for permission before speaking. On the other hand, students from lower power distance cultures, such as the United States and Germany, are generally encouraged to ask questions, debate, and participate voluntarily in classroom discussions. To create a more inclusive learning environment, educators should recognize cultural differences and provide multiple ways for students to participate. Examples include round-robin discussions, think, pair, share activities, reflection journals, and anonymous question systems. These strategies reduce participation barriers and help students from diverse cultural backgrounds contribute more comfortably. Assessment methods should also be diversified. Instead of measuring participation solely through speaking frequency, educators should include reflection journals, online discussion boards, group projects, and critical essays. This approach allows students to demonstrate their knowledge and skills through different forms of expression while reducing cultural disadvantages. In conclusion, the statement that Asian students are not interested in learning is an example of cultural bias and ethnocentrism. Student silence should not be viewed as evidence of disengagement. Instead, it may reflect cultural values related to respect, reflection, and communication styles. Creating an inclusive classroom environment and adopting multimodal assessment methods can promote fairness, equity, and meaningful participation for all students. That concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. I would be happy to answer any questions or discuss any comments you may have. Thank you.